Imagine turning on the news and discovering that several tourist cities have been completely destroyed. Countless lives are lost, millions are homeless, and a massive cloud of ash and smoke has darkened the sky. Power lines are down, air traffic has halted, and the climate is on the brink of change. It's unbelievable. Vesuvius has erupted once more, and humanity is still unprepared. Hello, and welcome to Z. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. How likely is this scenario? How extensive will the damage be if this infamous volcano erupts again? Which cities will suffer? How many lives will be lost? And what will it cost humanity? Vesuvius began forming 25,000 years ago and has erupted many times since. Today, it's the only active volcano in continental Europe and one of the most dangerous in the world, not just because of Pompeii. Around 3 million people live near Vesuvius, with 800,000 in the red zone, a 200 square kilometer, 77 square mile, area around the volcano that will be the first to be affected. This points to a major threat. An active volcano that periodically erupts, with many people living nearby. Additionally, Vesuvius sits above a vast magma reservoir, about 400 square kilometers, 154 square miles in size. As gas concentrations increase over the years, the longer Vesuvius remains dormant, the more dangerous it becomes. Eventually, it will erupt with a powerful explosion, followed by a pyroclastic flow, a deadly mix of hot gases, ash, and rocks moving at about 160 kilometers per hour, 100 miles per hour, or faster. During Pompeii's destruction, Vesuvius had 6 separate pyroclastic emissions, suggesting a vast area could be affected. A massive ash and smoke plume, reaching 32 kilometers, 20 miles, high, would rise. This eruption would release immense thermal energy, causing instant death for many. The sky would turn black, and breathing would become impossible. Windy weather would only spread the ash further, disrupting air travel across the continent for weeks. Pompeii, Naples, and smaller settlements would be buried under ash and pumice, with houses collapsing under the weight, killing those inside. Modern construction can't withstand such forces. The eruption's impact would be swift, perhaps just 15 minutes. People must flee, but they won't return home. Nothing will be left. The area won't just need cleanup, it will be uninhabitable. Years later, archaeologists might excavate the ruins, as with Pompeii, but the affected settlements will remain unfit for life. Survivors will lose access to water, electricity, and transportation. Naples and other nearby cities would become memorials if evacuation isn't timely. Hundreds of thousands, even millions, could die, including the over 3 million tourists visiting annually. This would be a global tragedy, with mourning worldwide and a lifeless destruction zone. The economic loss to Italy would be immense, around $24 billion, not including displaced residents' housing costs. However, locals believe they're ready for a powerful eruption. Scientists monitor Vesuvius around the clock to predict disasters. The red zone is the most dangerous, where survival will be nearly impossible. The Italian government has an urgent evacuation plan involving buses, cars, trains, and ships to clear the red zone in 72 hours. Yet, this is difficult with so many residents not in constant readiness. The situation has improved since 2003, when evacuation would take at least 2 weeks. Reducing the population could cut it to 8 days, but Vesuvius won't wait that long. You might wonder why people settle near the volcano. It would be easier if they stayed away. But Italian authorities are trying to reduce the population near Vesuvius by demolishing illegal buildings and creating a national park. Since 2004, they've offered $46,000 to each resident willing to move, but few accept. An even greater threat than Vesuvius is the Phlegrean Fields, last erupting in the 16th century. Earlier, these fields, along with other volcanoes, caused disasters that led to the Neanderthals' extinction. If the Phlegraean fields erupted today, with higher population density, it would dwarf Vesuvius's eruption. In 79 AD, Vesuvius released 100,000 times more thermal energy than the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, burying Pompeii, Herculaneum, and other settlements. Temperatures near Vesuvius reached 500 degrees Celsius, 932 degrees Fahrenheit, killing instantly. Imagine such an event in today's world without preventive measures. It would be a catastrophe. If you want to know about other volcanic eruptions and their consequences, comment below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications of upcoming videos. Mount Vesuvius, one of the most famous and dangerous volcanoes in the world, has a storied history of destruction and rebirth. The most infamous eruption occurred in 79 AD, obliterating the Roman cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum. Given its proximity to the densely populated city of Naples and the surrounding metropolitan area, an eruption in 2020 would pose a significant threat to millions of people and have widespread consequences. This essay explores the potential impacts of a Vesuvius eruption in 2020 on human life, infrastructure, the environment, and global systems. Human life and evacuation challenges. The immediate concern in the event of a Vesuvius eruption would be the threat to human life. The region around Vesuvius is home to over 3 million people, many of whom live within the red zone, the area most at risk from pyroclastic flows and ashfall. Modern technology allows for better monitoring and prediction of volcanic activity, providing some time for evacuation. However, the densely packed urban environment would complicate evacuation efforts. Emergency response plans would need to be rapidly executed, involving coordination between local, national, and international agencies. Ensuring timely and orderly evacuation could save thousands of lives, but logistical challenges such as traffic congestion, limited evacuation routes, and the sheer number of people involved would present significant hurdles. In a scenario where the eruption occurs with little warning, the death toll could be substantial. Infrastructure and economic impact. An eruption of Vesuvius in 2020 would devastate infrastructure. Ashfall, pyroclastic flows, and lava could destroy buildings, roads, and bridges, cutting off vital transportation routes and crippling the local economy. Naples, as a major economic hub, would suffer immense damage, with impacts felt throughout Italy and potentially across Europe. The cost of rebuilding would be astronomical, requiring substantial investment from both the Italian government and international aid organizations. Insurance claims would skyrocket, and the economic downturn could last for years, affecting tourism, industry, and trade. The psychological impact on residents, many of whom would lose homes and livelihoods, would also be profound. Environmental consequences. The environmental impact of a Vesuvius eruption would be significant. Volcanic ash can cause respiratory problems in humans and animals, contaminate water supplies, and damage crops. The region's agriculture, a vital part of the local economy, would suffer from soil infertility caused by ash deposits and acid rain. The eruption could also have broader climatic effects. Volcanic eruptions can inject large quantities of ash and sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, leading to a temporary cooling of the Earth's surface. This phenomenon, known as volcanic winter, could disrupt weather patterns and agricultural production on a global scale, further exacerbating food security issues. Global repercussions. In today's interconnected world, a major natural disaster like a Vesuvius eruption would have far-reaching global implications. The disruption of air travel due to volcanic ash clouds would impact international flights, leading to widespread travel delays and cancellations. The global economy could experience a shock, with markets reacting to the uncertainty and the potential for long-term economic disruption in Europe. International aid and relief efforts would likely be mobilized quickly, but the scale of the disaster could strain resources. Countries around the world would need to contribute to the humanitarian response, providing financial aid, medical assistance, and logistical support. Conclusion. An eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 2020 would be a catastrophe of immense proportions, affecting millions of people and having far-reaching consequences for infrastructure, the environment, and the global economy. While modern technology and emergency planning can mitigate some of the impacts, the sheer scale of the disaster would present significant challenges. The potential for loss of life, economic hardship, and environmental degradation underscores the importance of continued monitoring, preparedness, and international cooperation in the face of natural disasters. While humanity has made significant strides in understanding and preparing for volcanic disasters, the hypothetical eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 2020 reminds us of the immense power of nature and our vulnerability to its forces. The potential for widespread destruction and the profound human, economic, and environmental cost highlight the need for ongoing vigilance, robust disaster response plans, and international collaboration. As we continue to live in the shadow of Vesuvius, this scenario serves as a stark reminder of the importance of readiness and resilience in the face of one of Earth's most formidable natural phenomena. Thank you for watching and see you next time.